Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Thank you for taking time to cruise in for Car Club Talk with Robert, Randy, and Dana. Where's Robert? I see Dana.
Him again.
The chair's empty again. Again.
We miss you, Robert.
Jeez, Robert, got to come back in the studio sometime. I mean, that's the only way this is going to work is if you come back in the studio.
Well, we've been doing a good job, Randy.
Hey, we'll keep things moving forward. Mm-hmm. Welcome to our home here in the Lone Star Community Radio Studios, housed in Conroe Tower, and in the county of the official flag of that is the home of the Lone Star State. And I'm Randy Weldon, along with the missing guy, Robert Helmer, and Dana Pritchard over here, sequestered back in the safe room / sound booth. As our sound engineer and producer, Dick Schischler, we are broadcasting from Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 and 106.1 FM and streaming worldwide on irlonestar.com, YouTube, and Facebook. So, what do we have going today, Dana?
Well, besides having a really special guest today, I just wanted to briefly talk about one quick thing related to the Woodlands Cars and Coffee for a Cause. Other than the Woodlands High School, they have their own car club. And that's directed by Andrew, one of their teachers, who's doing a phenomenal job, with the students, getting them into the car world and car shows and things like that. And they've been attending our events the first Sunday of the month, the last couple of months. And I thought it would be nice if we kind of show support as well to them by when they come out and set up their booth, just to kind of introduce ourselves, say hello, make them feel welcome, and just, maybe attend some of their events, which they have one coming up April 12th, I believe. So just wanted to mention that because they've been real interested and eager and learning from the older folks like us.
Yeah, when we were out there last month, I introduced them over the loudspeaker. So, trying to get some people, letting people know that they're out there. So.
Yeah, so that's really nice. So, and one other quick thing is with the Woodlands Cars and Coffee for a Cause, I just wanted to let everybody know, because I don't really know if they know the donations that they make each month. Not only do a portion of those go to the chosen charity by Market Street each quarter, but we also donate all throughout the year to various charities. For example, we do have a spotlight charity that we are highlighting, which is Hands of Justice. So we'll donate a small amount to them this year. And then also we're participating in an animal welfare nonprofit organization called Operation Pets Alive, and we're going to be going to a fundraiser coming up April 4th, and then we're also going to be writing a check out to them as a contribution. So I just wanted to let people know that their donations all throughout the year are benefiting a lot of different nonprofit organizations, not just the ones that we have on site at Market Street. So,
well, that's a mistake, and 100% of the proceeds, so 100% of the money that's collected after expenses go to charity. There's nothing kept or held by anybody else.
Exactly. Yeah. After our expenses, which we do have many of those, but we do like to distribute it to many nonprofits as we can. So
yeah. So what kind of expenses? You're looking at insurance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, insurance is the huge big bulk of it.
Yeah, and then we've got the police officers on site. I mean, there are expenses to put this on.
Mm-hmm. We have 2 police officers, security, and then just we have mailbox, PO box, bank account, treasurer duties and whatnot. Copies of information that we distribute. Any signage and giveaways, things like that. So anything that that it costs to put on an event, but we usually try to get sponsors for that. But we do appreciate our generous, participants that come, our enthusiasts. They've been loyal for so long, and we love the new ones that come out for the first time. But I just wanted people to know that our event is a little bit different than the other morning meets or gatherings. It is, dedicated mostly to share information about these needful nonprofit organizations. So the donations are really greatly appreciated. So we
Yep.
thank you all.
Absolutely. Even if you come up with the change bag and you've collected change all year, which I've seen people do,
Yes,
we'll
they
take
do.
that. I know you like dollar bills. I'll take coins or dollar bills. Doesn't
Dollar
matter.
bills.
But we'll donate all of it back, 100% of it.
Yeah,
So.
so thank you, everybody.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of people that'll either be coming into the studio or Zooming in today. Who do we have lined up to come into the
Yeah,
studio?
so today I met a woman named LeighAnne Maxwell. I met her through Stephen Adair from All American Muscle Cars. And she has her business that, I guess it's a car rental business, specialty car rental business for special events. And it's called Classic Cars of Tomball. Is it Tomball? Classic Cars of Tomball. And she's just a really neat lady with a really neat story. And I just wanted to put a spotlight on her business. And she also may partner with us at Cars and Coffee for a Cause. So we're glad to have her on today.
Well, good. And after that, we've got James Lawrence coming in. He'll be Zooming in from the West Coast. James is the CEO and president of Power Auto Media.
Oh, neat. Oh, okay, good.
They're putting on the Mustang Week in Texas.
That's right.
As well as the one in Myrtle Beach toward the end of the year.
Okay.
And if we can get him to answer his phone, we'll get Jeff Mays after that for maybe 10 minutes or so to talk about the Mustang Club of America giveaway car that'll be launched at Mustang Week, Texas.
Okay, good.
That'll be given away in Myrtle Beach. But Jeff is at an event this week or today called Pits, which is Ponies in the Smokies.
Oh,
and
nice.
It's based there in Pigeon Forge. So the question is, will he hear his phone ring?
I'm sure he's a very busy man.
He acts busy. I don't know if he is busy, but he acts the part. So anyhow.
Good.
Yeah, I'll give you credit, Jeff. Every now and then you actually get busy. I know that because he's up at 5 a.m. calling me, which is 4 a.m. my time. I'm not answering. And then, he's also sometimes calling at 10 o'clock at night, which is 11 his time. So stays a little bit busy.
Okay.
I did dive into some things before I came into the studio today. Looking at car sales for January of this year, we hit a total of, and this is cars, passenger vehicles, and trucks, light trucks, 16.2 million versus January of 24 was 15 million. So it's up quite a bit. However, if you look at December of 24, it was 16.8 million, but as you can figure toward the end of the year, they were pushing as many cars out as they could before the end of the year. Of that number, Robert's favorite subject, EVs. EVs only represented 9% of the total sales, but that is up 1 to 1.5% versus January of 23. So it continues to climb. That continues to be a segment that's increasing. Anyhow, I thought those were interesting numbers because we can talk all we want about the economy, but that's an indicator right there that sales are pretty much up. If you're looking at 16.2 versus 15 million a year ago, that's a pretty good increase in
And I wonder
sales
if it's
numbers.
going to balance out with the production maybe coming to the United States versus the tariffs. I don't know if that'll balance out or.
Well, interesting there too, because Honda, because of the tariffs, has actually decided to move their hybrid Civic from production in Mexico to Indiana. I'm not sure exactly when that'll take place, but that's in the process of happening, and it is a direct result of the tariffs, not terrorists, tariffs. But when you look at that, Americans bought over 1.5 million electric vehicles in 24, and that's almost a fourth of all the EVs sold since 2010. So it continues to increase. When you look at sales for Nissan, that represents about 27% of all sales. The EVs do. For Honda, it represents 37%. And then by 2040, Honda's indicated that they're going to sell nothing but electric vehicles. So,
if we're still able to drive by that time.
if we still have electricity, Texas may be completely off the grid by then.
If we don't get our licenses taken away from old age.
From old age. Don't go there. I'm a lot older than you, so yeah, I don't need to hear that. One of the other things I found this kind of interesting in D.C. starting in 2026, Waymo. You know what Waymo is? Mm-mm. It's an autonomous vehicle. So
dear.
driverless car.
Here we go.
You can't do it because you're a control freak. I'm good with it.
I don't trust technology is my whole deal.
I love the technology. These are already, if you want to try one out, they're already deployed in Austin, Texas, in Los Angeles, San Francisco, and in Phoenix. But they'll launch in Atlanta and Miami in 26 and also Washington, D.C.
Randy,
Yes, ma'am.
tell me this.
Mm-hmm.
Why, when I'm backing up and I use the backup camera, it doesn't tell me when to stop? But the GPS lady will tell me to turn around, I'm going the wrong way all day long. And you want a car that's going to drive without having any control from a human.
You just need to spend a little bit more money on the cars that you're driving. That's all.
I don't know.
They have those features in the cars.
And what if they get their wires crossed?
It could happen. I mean,
then.
software could corrupt. You never know what's going to happen.
And then what happens?
Hey, you got to take control. You jump over in that seat and grab that wheel.
I think you just want it because you want to be able to eat your cheeseburgers and your biscuits, and you don't want to have any distractions.
Yeah, of course.
You still want to get to your destination.
I still want to be able to Facebook and text and do all that stuff without having to pay attention to the road.
Okay, so the truth comes out.
Hey, I like the technology. I like the stuff that's coming. You're not going to stop it from coming. It's going to continue to get better.
We'll see.
You use air conditioner, don't you?
That's different.
Do you have a home phone or you just have a cell phone?
I just got rid of my home phone.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So now all you have is a cell phone.
Shh.
See? But technology evolves and gets better and better and better. I can remember when...
I just don't like the spying and the invasiveness.
Look, this is not anything you're going to stop. It's there.
I know. I'm just resistant to it. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm old-fashioned.
You and a whole bunch of other folks are resistant to it. But, it's going to continue to come along. It's not going to go away.
Okay, well, then we'll talk about the good things.
I am talking about the good things. I'm talking about cars that drive themselves.
We'll talk about the good things related to the technology.
I will tell you this. I was coming up the freeway on the way here, and I looked in the rearview mirror. I was on the phone.
You were on the phone?
I was on the phone, but
Hands-free?
with a headset, yes.
Okay.
The phone was in a holder. I look in the rearview mirror, and I'm looking at this vehicle. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's a police vehicle, But it was all...
Incognito?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No markings on it at all. But had little indicators, little short antennas. I could see lights in the grill. So I needed to get over. So when I slid over, this guy goes blowing right past me. And I get back over once the police vehicle passed me. Here comes a car in the high occupancy vehicle lane, blows past us like we were going the opposite direction. And I see this car pull over. And whoever the guy was that was driving that truck then decides he's getting out of the HOV lane and he's going to pull over to the side. Actually, I think he realized that was a police vehicle, so he was going to get out of the way of it. And he pulls over one lane. But when he did so, then he crosses the double lane of the HOV vehicle. You're supposed to wait for the dotted lines before you cross. And then all of a sudden, then the lights come on. So anyhow, sometimes things are just humorous as you're driving. And I don't have any idea how fast he was going because we were all doing, including the police vehicle, 75 miles an hour on 45, which was 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. So, but put a smile on my face on the way here anyhow, even though I was stressed because I was running late.
Or was it Yolanda?
No, I was driving.
Okay.
Yolanda's home in bed still.
Okay, then who's we?
Me and whoever I was talking to on the phone.
Okay.
So anyhow, I'll tell you what. Why don't we get out of here and go to give some station recognition, and then we'll bring LeighAnne in here.
Sounds good to me.
Sound good? All right. So this is Cruisin Car Club Talk on Lone Star 104.5 and 106.1 FM, or for those of you who may have wandered outside of the listening area, we can be streamed around the globe on irlonestar.com, YouTube, or Facebook. And we'll be right back.
Hey, it's Andrew here from the Audience of One show, inviting you to enjoy the mildly amusing antics of myself and Dick Schisler, Wednesdays at 10 a.m. on the Audience of One show. We bring you funny observational humor, odd news stories, and every now and again, one brave soul as a featured guest. Don't miss out on a few laughs and a great time right here on Conroe's 106.1 and 104.5 FM with the Audience of One show.
We are back and appreciate you spending time to cruise in for Car Club Talk with Robert, Randy, and Dana. And this segment, we've got LeighAnne Maxwell in the studio with us. We appreciate you taking time to come in.
Thank you for having me.
You had gotten lined up through Dana, and from what I could read and everything that was sent to me, you are with ClassicCruisers.com.
That's correct.
Is that right? Is that the name of it?
.net.
Yes, .net. That's right. Even when I typed it, I put .com, and I was like, man, I read .net, but my fingers typed .com.
And is it Classic Cruisers of Tombow or just Classic Cruisers?
My website is classiccruisers.net, but on Facebook, Classic Cruisers was already taken, so we're out of Tomball, so we ended up selecting Classic Cruisers Tomball for Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, no worries. And I met LeighAnne
and TikTok.
Yes, TikTok. That's correct.
I met LeighAnne through Stephen Adair from All American Muscle Cars. So
Stephen Adair, he keeps getting mentioned over and over on this program, doesn't he?
He's a great guy. He's a great guy, and she's also a great addition to him. So
They're good together.
Very genuinely golden people.
Yes, we agree.
Yeah, so we met through them, and we wanted to have LeighAnne on the show to tell us a little bit about how she got started in her business. It's kind of interesting because a female in automotive industry as well, and she could be a great asset to our automotive community. So we're happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I'm very honored to be here.
Well, tell us a little bit about the business.
Okay, so we started in August of 2024, so we are very new. I had mentioned the idea to my husband there were some cars that caught our eye. They were 1925 Model T Ford replicas. And we started talking about, I said to him, I was like, wouldn't it be a great idea to rent those out for weddings? They have a gentleman who rents them out there in Galveston on the island for joy rides for families, that are on vacation. So he's like, yeah, that's a pretty good idea. So, we're Christians. We don't go to church every day, and I'm not a perfect person, but we definitely are Christians, and we teach our...
Whoa, you're not a perfect person. Oh, wait, we got to stop things right here. No, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Right?
You mean you're not?
Definitely. I'm far from perfect. I'm considered a work in progress, always.
Yeah, you got that. Till the end.
Till the end. So we started kind of praying about it, we talked to the gentleman who sells them down in Galveston, and we asked him, do you have brand new? Do you have used? And so he kind of presented us with, what is available, how much the new ones cost, used, that sort of thing. The new ones take a while to come in, so that was kind of one of the things that was kind of pushing us back on not buying new. But we started praying about it, and it was kind of a scary, because that was kind of a big investment for us, kind of scary to invest in that. And so we started praying quite a bit. Finally, one day I was like, okay, I'm tired of being on the fence about it. God, I want you to, in our family, we have a thing where me and my boys and my husband, if we find a penny on heads, we feel like that's somebody from heaven, letting us know that they're, thinking about us and that sort of thing. So I said, Lord, I want a sign from you. I want a sign today, not tomorrow, not the next day. I want it today. I want to see a penny on heads. And that same day, I took my little man to, I have 3 boys. I have a 15-year-old, and then I have twin 8-year-olds. And one of my little man has Down syndrome. So he gets a lot of therapies, a lot of attention because he has, special needs. And so because he has Down syndrome, he gets a lot of attention and things like that. So I always feel like the other twin needs extra attention from time to time. So I took him for ice cream for a mom-son date day that day. And we get our ice cream, go to sit down at the table, and there are 2 pennies on heads sitting at the table. And my little man looks up at me and goes, Mom, I just looked over here at that table, and these pennies were not sitting here. He had no idea I prayed that prayer earlier that morning. And so I just got goosebumps that kind of went up my arms whenever he said that to me. And I said, let me tell you a little bit about these pennies right here. The cool thing about the pennies was one was very shiny and brand new, and one was old and dingy looking. Well, the specific prayer that we had been praying was, do we buy one? Do we buy two? Do we buy used? Do we buy new? So I felt like not only did God, give me the answer to what we were looking for and the sign of what we were looking for, but he also told us specifically buy one brand new one and then buy one used one. So we went for the gusto, and we were like, okay, this was our sign. And because of that, we knew that we would be blessed moving forward. My husband and I have great integrity. We always feel like we want to do everything precisely treat everybody really good and have great integrity. And so we felt like that was our sign from God, that he would lead and guide, our direction and everything that we do, and he would steer our ship. And there have been so many times where I'm sitting at my desk answering customers, and I'm like, Lord, I need your help. I can't do this on my own. And I feel like he basically picks up the steering wheel and starts taking off. And boy, has he taken off. I'm the one, my husband works a full-time job, so I'm the one, managing the business aspects. He's definitely a huge backbone to everything. He is the foundation also, and is a huge blessing to me and a help. But day to day, I kind of manage the day-to-day things, aspects of everything. So we have been getting so many requests.
And how does your business work? How does the rental business work?
Yeah, so we are on the knot and wedding wire. So a lot of our customers come in, the leads come in through that way. They also come in by doing a search for classic cars, because we provide predominantly classic cars, but we also provide some luxury vehicles.
So it's a rental car business.
It's a rental car business.
That's when people are looking for certain types of cars for their special events.
Yes, definitely.
And then how does it work as far as they call you and they say, hey, I'm getting married. I would like this type of car for our wedding reception.
Yes.
To drive us or to take photos with the car, or how does the whole process work?
So what we provide for photo shoots, proms, getaway cars for weddings, quinceañeras. We actually have, we also have gotten requests from production companies who are doing documentaries, and they needed like a certain type of classic car for that era that they were wanting to do. So, but we're on several platforms. We're on the Wedding Wire, the Knot. And then what they typically do is they let us know, hey, we're looking for a car, for this type of event. And, we have on our website, we have a transportation request form, which ask all the questions that are kind of pertinent to giving them a good estimate of what they, are needing, and also kind of giving us answers of what car would best fit their, needs. Like if they're going long distance, then this certain amount of cars will fit that. So that's kind of how they come to us. They either come to us, from our website at classiccruisers.net, or they come in through the Wedding Wire or the Knot, basically doing, a search for classic cars or luxury cars for their special event.
Who are the drivers of these cars? Is it the owners, or do you guys drive them?
That's a great question. So we most of our cars are chauffeured. We do have a select few of cars that some of the owners will allow, including cars that we own. We will allow short distance travel for the person who's renting it. But that's usually on the premises of where they're at, and it's very short rides, because these cars are very meticulously maintained. We want to upkeep that integrity of the car, so we typically choose to chauffeur them or short distances.
I'm sure the owners are pretty picky. I mean, some of these cars are pretty high up there in numbers as far as value goes, and to have somebody else drive their car. And, some cars, they start funny, or they have a little shifting issue.
Yes.
Little quirky things about the older or the cars. So
they all
how
have
do you
their
navigate
personalities
through that as far as the drivers?
Yeah.
pickiness?
So our cars go back to our oldest car. We have the 1925 Model T replica. But we also have our oldest gas-powered car is a 1940 Ford. And that one in particular, it does not have air conditioner. So, when people come to us and request, in June, we make sure we let them know. But the car owners, they definitely, each car has their own, like, for example, that 1940 Ford, we have to tell if it's, somebody needing it for a wedding, we tell them that, okay, you have to change out of your huge dress at the end of the day because it's a kind of a small squeeze to get in the back of that car. And, oh, you're getting married in June. We need to make sure that you know that this car does not have air conditioner. But surprisingly enough, our 1960 Ford Thunderbird and our 1962 Ford Thunderbird do have air conditioner. Of course, they're air conditioners from back in the 60s because they're original. So they don't blow as good, as your modern day cars do. But
Are those under the dash?
well, so we have a 1959 Rolls Royce, and that gentleman actually installed the air conditioner. So it starts at the back of the car, and he's got an engineering background, so he engineered, all through the vents to go through the car, and I think they come out the back. So it kind of
That's
depends on the
cool.
car. Yeah, it really depends on the car. And
My first Mustang, I had an under the dash unit.
Yeah.
Just mounted on the, it had all the blowers and everything were right in that self-contained unit.
yeah, they all kind of have their own personalities, so it just depends on the particular car where the air conditioner would be.
Oh, very cool. Do you so when you need a car that you don't have, you just look around and try to get somebody to loan one to you?
I am constantly looking for dependable car owners to partner with me. And yes, I always tell people when they come to me and we don't have a car that they're looking for, I present them with the 17 cars that we do offer. But I also tell them, what is your vision? What are you looking for? And if they have something that we don't have, I definitely seek out an owner that does have something that fits those needs. And always looking for and excited when people come to me that own cars and that maintain them very well. And keep their integrity, and they want to share the beauty of their car with other people and the joy of their car with other people. So yes, always looking for new things so that we can provide. And I'm glad you asked that question because we get questions from people in Anderson, Texas, that sort of thing. And we're always looking for car owners around.
Not just in Montgomery
County or Harris County.
People go to Anderson, take pictures in front of that courthouse out there. So
Yes, it's a beautiful place.
Yeah, so we're spreading the word
Thank
to
you.
network further out of Montgomery County. Anyone has a classic or vintage type car, that we can contact you for
I'd
more
be honored.
information.
Yes.
And
very
also, we
honored.
have a great network, the Woodlands Cars and Coffee for a Cause at Market Street. Huge network. I mean, you got to think 20 years of people coming to the events, different people each month. That's a good source, too, to get to know people.
A huge source, and we appreciate you guys, especially. It's an honor to be here, and it would be an honor to, if anybody, who's part of your club came to us, we would definitely consider it an honor.
Dana, she collects all those names, email addresses, phone numbers, and stuff. I'll meet somebody, they'll walk off, and now I can't remember their name, and I didn't write anything down. So she's a good database for that stuff.
Yeah, and Randy, you and I, we've gotten tons of requests throughout the year, for years.
Yep.
Same thing, somebody's getting married, somebody wants graduation pictures with a certain type of car. So we're reaching out to our car affiliates, our networks, our car clubs, our databases to find people who would be willing to share their car for a special event. So we're used to doing that in general.
Yeah, I have gotten plenty of those calls.
But now LeighAnne's created a business out of it, which I think is pretty neat because, there's a great demand for it, absolutely. So
I respect people like you guys who are out there, in the trenches, building these relationships and knowing them on that personal level. And that's what sets me apart from other people who partner with classic car owners and luxury car owners is I love people and I love to get to know them. And so I respect people like you guys who are out there, getting to know them and knowing them as a person and their families and that sort of thing. So,
Well, it's a community of people. We all get along. We have a shared interest, so we have something to talk about. You add a little bit of coffee to it, we talk even more.
Donuts.
Donuts too. Yeah. But it's just fun for us to get away from the normal everyday grind and relaxingly sit around and talk to each other.
Yeah, it is.
But it does add for friends that you meet that you carry the rest of your life.
Yeah, you definitely have a common ground and, a common love. And it's very relaxing, to get out there. And not only that, but it's opened my eyes to people who are just so gifted and talented to take a car and take it from, like, some of them have taken them from, scraps of metal with rust, and they've just made them just look so beautiful and just turned it around to be something so eye-catching,
Bring back the life
Yeah.
back into it.
Yeah.
Yep. No, that's exactly what happens with these guys.
And plus
And
a
it's-
certain sense of nostalgia too.
You realize it's an addiction, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's not
It's like
it's not
potato
a normal.
chips.
None of the automotive enthusiasts are normal people. They've got an addiction here. So
Yeah.
yeah. Instead of sitting around eating the potato chips,
Right. Yeah. I've noticed that a lot of times they own one, they own several, and it definitely is something that they are very passionate about.
I see these. They've what's recently gotten become a business that's opened up multiple locations as axe throwing. But I'm waiting for somebody to open up a wrench throwing.
A what
location.
throwing?
Wrench throwing.
Oh, geez.
Because we've all gotten pretty skilled at that, as you know, working on cars.
I'm sure there's been a wrench or two thrown like. Yeah.
I gave up the working on cars. I like my knuckles too much, but there are those people that got to do it. That's their relaxation. That's their decompression, doing this stuff.
I have a friend that owns a double-decker London bus called Nigel the Bus, and he re-engineered all the wiring inside that bus, and just him and his wife are great people, and just to see that they have rewired the whole bus, and he actually looked back to the history of the bus to get the engineering plans of the bus to rewire it. It just amazed me, So the fact that people have the skill and the talent to take something
Do
like
they
that.
live in the Houston area?
They live in Tomball.
That would be
and
nice to have them at our event.
They are great people, and they own a Rolls Royce. They're actually part of my partners.
That would be nice
Yes.
to have them showcased at our
Yes. They
Cars and Coffee.
They take it around Tomball, and they also have property in Tomball, acreage that they do bus rides, and so they have like corporate events and things like that out there on their property.
That's neat.
So yeah.
So do you have a busy season? Have you noticed? How long is this? Have you been in business doing this?
So we started August of 2024, so it was right kind of in between seasons. So the busy season is we're noticing because we're kind of new to it. It is anywhere from March to June, and then it kind of stops and then picks back up
September.
in
August.
a little towards because September is still kind of hot. Towards the end of September, mostly October through December is when it kind of picks back up. And we have been really blessed by receiving lots of requests, March through June right now. And then we also have people that are thinking ahead in October and November and December. We're already getting booked, which is a nice thing because it helps us plan ahead for what, is like we're getting a lot of requests for convertible Cadillacs, classics, and classic convertible Lincolns. So having those booked ahead of time kind of helps us plan for what we would need to purchase next.
Do you ever come across a pink Cadillac convertible? 'Cause
As
I'm
a
looking
matter
for
of
one.
fact, yes, we just found one. I'll have to send that
Yeah,
to
send
you.
it, 'cause it's for a
It
friend
was
of
for
mine.
sale. Yeah.
Well, I have a friend, Monette Smith, who was a guest on our show also. She's looking to purchase one.
Yeah. I know a name, Monette Smith, so that's why I was
She's a
kind of
publicist. She's
okay.
Yeah.
I may know her. We seen it on, I believe it was Facebook Marketplace, but I'll
Okay.
check and
Cool. Thanks.
confirm that. Yeah.
So I imagine you've got mostly, as you get into April, probably weddings, April, May timeframe, maybe some in March. You've got, when's prom? Is that in the April
May.
timeframe?
May. We're getting a
timeframe?
lot of May requests for prom. As a matter of fact, there's a prom, Great Gatsby themed prom that's going on in the Woodlands, at the Woodlands Resort. And we got some requests for our Model T Fords for that themed, which I think is amazing. That's kind of perfect if it's the theme, you know. So we're excited to be a part of that, and we plan to be out there for some of our customers for that.
Awesome.
Then you've got graduation in May.
Senior photos.
Yeah, so how far in advance do people need to schedule with you?
We're booking out for November right now, and our November's getting very booked. We do still, it kind of depends on the car, you know, that you're requesting, because some of our cars are booked for April, May, June, but some of them are still open. So it just depends on what they're looking for. So it's always a good idea to book in advance, definitely, because we want to make sure, you know, we get them taken care of and they get the car that they've envisioned for their special moment.
So your website is classiccruisers.net. What's your email address?
It's LeighAnne, which I'm spelt a little differently. It's LeighAnne at classiccruisers.net.
And then your Facebook page?
It's Classic Cruisers Tomball. And then our Instagram is also Classic Cruisers Tomball, as well as TikTok, Classic Cruisers Tomball.
Okay, and then is there a phone number, or what's the best way to get in touch with you?
I actually love text messages, phone calls. Kind of old school, so I love speaking with people face to face. If you'd like that, my number though is 281-433-5794.
All righty. Well, we've got to get out of here and get some station recognition. But LeighAnne, we can't thank you enough for coming in.
It
Thank
was
you
so
for
nice to
having
have
me.
you on the
Thank
show.
you for
Thank you
inviting
so
me.
much.
Yes, thank you. I'm honored. Thank you.
And so, again, the best way to get in touch with you is 281-433-5794, right?
That's right.
All right,
Yes.
very good. Thanks again for taking time to come
Thanks,
in with
LeighAnne.
us.
Thank you, Ann.
This is Cruisin' Car Club Talk on Lone Star 104.5 and 106.1 FM. Or for those of you out there wandering the world, we can be streamed anywhere on earth at irlonestar.com, on Facebook, or on YouTube. I'm Randy Weldon. This is Dana Pritchard. The empty chair is Robert Helmer, who's missing again today. We'll be back in just a second.
Every Friday, tune into Texas Ticket on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM with Armando Nino of Gull Lake Conroe, focusing on Montgomery County area events and places. Get a feel of the Texas spirit at the event, paired with guest and vendor interviews, event coverage, and ticket giveaways, and so much more. Join us Fridays and punch your Texas ticket. For more information on the show, visit irlonestar.com/Texas Ticket.
Welcome back. We have zooming in from, I believe, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, Jeff Mays, the president of Mustang Club of America. How you doing, Jeff?
Hi, Jeff.
I'm doing good, Randy. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. You see Dana on here too?
No, I can only see myself in that little view up
Okay,
there.
there's a little black box there. See?
Yeah, that's age
Empty.
speaking. He needs to wear his glasses more.
Now,
Okay.
come on, now there you are. How
Hi.
are you doing?
Hi, nice to meet you.
The only missing host we have is Robert Helmer. Go figure.
Where is Robert?
He's here in spirit.
He's doing a 4-letter word thing called work. So
it's all work.
you're in Pigeon Forge right now, right?
I am.
And you're taking part in PITS, which stands for what?
Ponies and the Smokies.
Yeah, big event over there, isn't it?
think this is year 7 for them.
Yeah.
So it's a big show. They have like 1,200 cars registered, and today is setup day. So the guys that have their cars inside are able to bring those in today, and then all of us as vendors are setting up today.
So what all do they have going on up there? They've got a car show, obviously. I assume
We got a car show. They had an autocross yesterday that was out at the local circle track. They did some drag racing. I want to say they did the drag racing on Monday. So it's and then they do the Tail of the Dragon run. There's 3 or 4 different cruises that they go on through the mountains, because obviously this is nothing but twisty, turny country out there.
it is great. I loved living in that area. I miss living over there. Tail of the Dragon's a great run. And I think
I haven't been able to get on that yet, but I don't know that my dually would do a great job.
I wouldn't take your dually if I were you. Those roads are pretty narrow.
Yeah, they are.
I think the drag racing event actually involved the Knoxville Police Department there at one point. They had that on the local news here in town, where they were drag racing the police up there this week.
Oh, I didn't see that. That would have been interesting.
Yeah, no, it was good. I'm sure I can find a YouTube clip and send it back to you.
I'm sure the police were pretty far behind.
They did a pretty good job running, actually. So, hey, after this event, are you coming down to Texas for Mustang Week, Texas?
Well, the next thing is I go home for 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, I get in the truck and we're off to the national show in Orlando. And then home, hopefully the sweepstakes car will be delivered by then. They're telling us on the 14th of April we'll get it. So we're hoping to put that in the trailer to come to Mustang Week. But yes, we will be there.
So that's actually, I wanted you to zoom in, and I appreciate you taking time to do this today during setup at Pitts to talk about the giveaway car, the MCA car.
Well, it's a 60th anniversary convertible. We added a few options too, with the 355 rear gear, and there's an audio package, and we put on active exhaust. It is white with, I call it a Merlot interior. They have a certain name for it, but I can't tell you what the name is. But it's actually the car that they put on display last year when they released it, and they're just now showing up in dealers across the country.
So this will be MCA branded?
No, it's just a Mustang 60th anniversary car.
60th.
We would have liked to have it branded, but we are working with Ford to try to get a branded car for next year for the 50th anniversary of the MCA.
Oh, that'll be nice for 50. Yeah, for the MCA, that'll be really nice. What?
Well, you remember they did do that for us from 2011 to 2014. We did have a branded MCA car from Ford.
I do remember they had that. Yeah, I know some people that have a few of them. So I shouldn't say a few. They've got one each, but you know.
Yeah, I used to own.
Did you?
Yeah, I traded it for a '69 Boss 302 though.
Of course, that was the Jack Roush's, right?
Yeah.
Hey, so what people have to do? You're going to introduce this MCA giveaway car. You're going to introduce it where?
We hope to introduce it at Mustang Week in Galveston.
And
That'll be the first time that we have it out live. It is online now at mustang.org. You can go to our website and go under the announcements page, and you will see the car there, and you can buy tickets through that. And then we've run some specials. We have a company that's helping us with Facebook ads. So those are going out now, and we're supposed to have an advertisement thing for here. I haven't got the word to go pick it up yet, but it'd be 50% more tickets if you buy at the show this weekend.
Oh, so they can start buying right now. What's the cost to get a ticket to win the car?
It's as little as $10, if I'm not mistaken, for one ticket.
And if I'm not mistaken, anybody that's on the board or married to somebody on the board of Mustang Club of America can't take part in this, right? There is no taking part.
That is, well, we can't win it. We can surely make the donation if we choose to, but yes, a board of director or a family member cannot take possession of the car.
And no limit on the amount of tickets that people can buy?
No, not at all. There's I want to say there's one box you can check for a $2,000 donation for tickets, and if you did that with the 50% more, you're obviously going to get a lot more tickets. But there is a tier above that, but that's not posted. But
So are these tickets only selling on Mustang.org?
no, they're like I said, we're running Facebook ads. It's a little noisy out here. We're running Facebook ads, and we're doing some ad swaps with some other folks that are part of the Tap Cat program. So we're doing some ad swaps with the Porsche Club and some other people. But it is, there was a thing from, I want to say Ford Muscle or somebody did an article on it last week in an online magazine. So it's out there. We started about 2 months ago or so with it, and it's already it's above $75,000, and we know it'll continue to climb. But once we get the car, it's a different story, because then you can actually rub it, hug it, and touch it. Right now, we only have Ford's file pictures.
That's what you like to do, Randy, right?
Oh, absolutely. You gotta sit there. You have to, once you see the car in person, right?
Up close in person.
Then you're
already bonded immediately.
You become bonded to it. That's right. And you do have those. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you get attached to it, and you're in your mind buying that ticket. I mean, you have that chance to win, but everybody has that chance to win.
You'll be putting in a lot of $10 bills.
Won't be the first time.
That is correct. It's all about having that chance to win. But when you see it in person, it's really a beautiful car. It is Wimbledon white, and the Merlot interior really sets it off. It's a beautiful car. And they offered it in 3 colors, red, white, and blue. And then they did offer an anniversary color, which was Brittany blue. But I don't know how many of those they produced. Those were the first ones that went down the assembly line.
Well, as you know, I'm all about convertibles. So this being that.
Is yours fixed yet?
No, it's still in shop.
You just like the top down.
I like to go topless. That's right. Jeff, we know you're in the middle. We know you're in the middle setting up out there, but so we won't hold you too long. We appreciate you taking time to slide in here with us. You are going to be here in Texas, and we'll look forward to seeing you when you're here, along with the giveaway car.
Absolutely.
Well, we're going to slide.
Look forward to seeing you and the rest of the crew down at Mustang Week. Hopefully, they have a great turnout. I know that their registration's going pretty well, and they're excited. And I think everybody that is part of the program, including the MCA, we're all excited about adding another show. So
yeah, I think one in the middle of the country is going to be a big thing. Hey, can you turn your camera around? Is there anything else out there to see? Anybody else showing up for this event?
Oh yeah, there's some guy in here that if I take you inside, you're just going to hear this 32 Roadster screaming. But hang on a second, I'll walk you in the door. They're
oh yeah.
Just in
Oh,
front
wow.
of Now, I'm not the greatest for turning the camera around, so I turn the phone around. But this is indoors, and they get about 85 cars inside, and goes all the way around. The MCA is right down here. You can see Debbie setting up with the tent. It's over the U-Haul trailer.
Yep, no, we can see it all pretty good.
It's a big building. If I took you down to the other end of the parking lot, there's a whole lot of vendors setting up down there, and there's guys still right out here in the front that are unloading their cars and getting them lined up to get them inside. But the big the Ford trailers here and UPR's here, Gateway Classics is here. There's a ton of people. Von Gitten's going to be here with RTR later on this afternoon, getting set up. So this is a really big event. They've done a great job growing this event.
I'm going to make it up to Pitts one of these days. I love that area of the country, miss living there. So,
it's a lot of fun. This place is really nice. We stay in a cabin every year, so never stayed in the same cabin. It's a very affordable place to come.
Yeah, no, I love being there. Listen, we're going to get out of here. We'll let you go do what you've got to do. Thank you for taking time to come in. We'll see you when you get to Texas. And we're gonna slide on out and talk to James Lawrence next with that's putting on Mustang Week Texas.
All right. Well, tell him I said hello, and it's good to see you again, Randy. Get that car out of the shop, can you?
I'm trying to get him to give it back. I think he likes driving it. I think that's what's going on.
Well, sell it to him and buy a new one.
I could do that. All right, Jeff. Thanks much.
Thanks,
you take
Jeff.
care.
Take care.
All right. Y'all have a good one. Nice to
Bye.
meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. This is Cruisin Car Club Talk on Lone Star 104.5 and 106.1 FM. Or for those of you who may be out there wandering around and can't hear us in the broadcast area, we can be streamed around the globe on irlonestar.com, YouTube, or Facebook. And we'll be right back.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
Welcome back. Our guest this segment is James Lawrence, the CEO and president of Power Auto Media. And James, welcome. We appreciate you taking time to do this. You are the gentleman who is putting on Mustang Week Texas, as well as Mustang Week Myrtle Beach toward the end of the year. We certainly appreciate you taking time to zoom in with us here. You're on the left coast out there, right?
Yeah, sometimes I don't like to admit it, but yeah, we're Southern California.
All right,
Tell us how
Southern
you
Cal.
really feel.
This is Dana, by the way.
Hi.
Our
Dana.
other host, Robert, he opted not to come in today.
He's
so.
incognito.
Yeah.
You not like Mustangs?
You know, he's got 4 of them. He must like something about them.
Okay, good. So that's
Where you-
good to know.
You're in Temecula, huh?
We are, yeah. Wine country. You guys like wine?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'll never
Okay.
forget one of my first times to the West Coast, and I had clients out there, and we took them. We went to a winery, and they brought the bill, which I was picking up, and they didn't take American Express, which was all I carried with me at the time because it was the corporate card. So I had enough money to get myself out of that jam, but then I was walking around downtown Temecula looking for ATMs, which I found, and got a little bit of cash back in my pocket, but that was a learning experience.
Did you leave a good tip?
I did the best I could.
Okay.
I was gonna say the next time you come out here, I'll make sure I'll cover you if you need me to.
Hey, I appreciate you having my back, man.
Generous
these
offer.
Mustang fans have to hang together. So,
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about Mustang Week coming to Texas.
Yeah, we're really excited. When we have had the Myrtle Beach event, has been a phenomenal event for the Mustang community. It's been 20 years. And we knew we wanted to expand Mustang Week. We had a lot of people, obviously, South Carolina's on the edge of the country. And so just the opportunity to bring Mustang Week to a whole new audience. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's more Mustangs in the state of Texas than in any state in the world, really.
Oh my
And
goodness.
Texas considers itself
That doesn't surprise
probably
me.
its own country. So
Yeah, we do, and actually we're trying to pull away again. So there's some underlying issues to that whole thing. So
Yep.
or some planning, I guess, going on. Now I did know that we had more Mustangs here than any other state in the country. So what I find interesting though is and you've been to Texas before, right?
yes, sir. I actually went to college in San Antonio, Trinity University.
Oh, you did. You went to Trinity. Oh, wow. Well, that's beyond cool. Now we really got to talk when you get in town. There's a spirit here, as you know, if you went to school there. There's a certain spirit in the state of Texas that you really don't feel, or at least I don't think, as I've traveled around. I haven't found that I felt anywhere else. So people here are very proud of their if in this case, Mustangs. I'd be shocked if you don't have just some phenomenal turnout on this very first event here. I mean, you couldn't have picked a better place, Galveston.
Yeah, we're excited about it. I mean, I think the fun thing is our barometer of success with this is, it's a first year event. So, I've got 25 years of events that I've promoted over my life. and so you always want to be careful, right, when you do a first year show. But boy, the support from the Mustang community has been just absolutely phenomenal, and the Ford community. And I think the other thing is we're just bringing so many fun things in one spot. I mean, I think what we'd like to do is we want a Mustang enthusiast or a Ford enthusiast to say, hey, this was the best week of my life, right? Like, or the best week of my year, at least. But just, from the drifting to the burnout show to the car show, we've got 57 vendors that are going to be there. Having Ford Motor Company there, having RTR there, having Roush there. I mean, just, it's going to be just a phenomenal experience. And so, we're in it for the long haul. It's not just a 1-year gig for us, but we're just really excited about, getting the community together. And, LMR is a big part of the event. Obviously, the one of the presenting sponsors and a Texas-based company too. So, they've been a big help in promoting this to the Texas community.
Yeah, they're a good local firm. I say local to the state of Texas, but very well known here. Take part in a lot of events. Your base, once you get into town, is going to be out at Moody Gardens, right? That'll be the hotel, is the Moody Gardens Hotel, and then you've got that whole parking lot, I guess, that backs up to it right there.
Yeah, so if you look at Mustang Week, I mean, the fun really starts Thursday. So we're at MSR in Houston on Thursday we have the road course there, so people will be able to come enjoy their car on the road course. They're also going to they could do a track experience as well. And so if they're not an experienced road racer, even if they don't want to enter the novice class, they can do a track experience where they get to do some parade laps with some instructors. But we've got karting, we've got autocross. So that's all on Thursday in Houston. And then the kickoff parties on Thursday night back in Galveston at the Spot. And so you get to do that. Then you go to the drag strip at HMP on Friday. And then Friday night, we've got a meetup at Moody's. And then from Friday night through the weekend, we're at Moody. So Moody, I don't know if you've been, but what a facility they've got right between. There's a lot of concrete, it's just fun it's a real fun family experience. So it's like we're getting lots of families, people bringing their kids and just kind of taking the week to take a vacation, right? Which that's kind of the hallmark of Mustang Week, right? In Myrtle Beach, it's just about enjoying the whole week, whether you're friends, family, your buddies, but just being able to kind of experience it, with a community.
I bet it'd be hard to find accommodations right about now.
We are 95% sold out. There's 410 rooms at Moody's, and as of 4 days ago, there was 18 rooms left. So we're about 30 days out, and so I would say this is probably it. If you don't grab a room by Monday, you're probably cooked. Mm-hmm. But that's a nice thing about Galveston, right? Is that there's a lot of stuff on the island. There's a lot of hotels on the island, but also if you want to just go across the bridge, there's a big hotel base, in South Houston there.
Oh yeah, no, there's a lot of hotels down there. That's actually the industry I'm in. So I pretty much named just about all the hotels down there. But you mentioned a restaurant just a second ago, the Spot.
Yep.
And that's a great kickoff location right there. It's a great place to hold an event.
Yeah, we went. And when we were working on scouting at Moody's, went and visited with their team, and then we went and looked at lots of restaurants. And, we're planning on having a whole lot of Mustangs there on Thursday night. Now, we only got room for about 400 or 500, so get there early. But what a great vibe at the Spot.
Yep.
We just love the vibe. We've worked with the city of Galveston to reserve seawall parking. We've got a bunch of spaces in the parking lot reserved there. A lot of they blocked 2 streets off for us, so we're ready. But now keep in mind at Myrtle, we get about 1,500 cars that come to the opening night kickoff on Monday. So, we don't know how many we're going to get. I think we're going to fill up. We hope everybody stays in their best behavior, but
I was just going to bring that up. I hope it's a little more tame than the Jeep Week and the Bike Week. I hope you don't have any negative publicity on the local news.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. I mean, we get 30,000 people that come to Myrtle, and the reality is people are there to have a good time, and you get pretty excited about all the Mustangs, and it's a balance about respecting the community and not being a knucklehead. And the problem is that when you have 30,000 people and 7,000 Mustangs, it only takes 100 knuckleheads, which is like less than 1%. But, you know, somebody has a couple of beers or, you know, makes a bad decision. And, you know, it's all, for us, it's about community safety. Number one, making sure that we're creating an event that has proper safety, proper working with law enforcement, working with the local city. You know, anytime you put so many people in one place, you just have to be prepared that you're going to have a couple of people
Scuffles.
that, you know, don't do what they should do. And that happens with any event. It happens at the Super Bowl. And so, you know, for us, we're professional event promoters, 80 years in our core event team. We have 80 years of experience of promoting and building events. And so you just have to go in with a good game plan is really what it comes down to.
prepared.
But you also want to ask the community, hey, police yourself.
Yep.
Right. And so, you know, if somebody does a burnout and ends up in a tree and ends up on the news, you know, that's probably not the best thing. And so, you know, you just risk it for everybody. And so, you know, we'd ask our community to be respectful and just understand, like, you know, we're trying to provide more opportunities. Like, if you want to go race, go to the drag strip. If you want to go to the road course, you want to autocross, you want to go go-karting, you want to do the burnout contest. We've got a place for you to do the burnout contest, right? Like you can enter the burnout contest and you can wear a big crown and you can wear a cape and you can declare yourself the king of the street class at Mustang Week. And that's probably cooler than doing a burnout into a tree.
Yeah, or just do that no tolerance policy where they know if hey they ruin it, then they're not going to be invited back to next year either. A consequence, so this way they'll know better maybe ahead of time to not act up.
It's harder at Myrtle because we don't right now. The venue does not allow us to do motorsport activations, and so we're in a very large mall, which has been very accommodating, but doesn't have a motorsport component. And so the thing that we would like to say about Texas is, you know, not only can you come see a pro burnout competition, but you can enter one. Not
Right.
only can you see Vaughn do some really awesome stuff, but you can get out there and you can participate also. And so I think we're building the infrastructure for people to be able to enjoy those activities in a safe way.
That's nice.
Well,
I like that.
and you mentioned Vaughn, but you've got the RTR team coming to town.
Yep.
So you'll be doing drifting and drifting exhibitions on the open
Not
road.
just Vaughn. We've got nine people that are coming and doing drifting. So you're going to have drifting and ride-alongs from 9 people. So we've got Chris Leonard. We've got a whole array. Ben Hobson. We've got a whole array of people doing drifting out there.
So back that up for just a second. Back that up for just a second. You're going to do ride-alongs with these guys.
Yep.
I mean, how cool is
Not
that?
me.
No.
I don't ride as a passenger with any of these crazy people. Are you kidding?
I've got to get in the car. I've got to get in. But
We got you.
but-
I'm just not going to do it.
make sure that you shoot video so we can put that up on YouTube so I look like the fool I usually look like. You know, it's I'm good at that. So, but no, I mean, how cool is that? These guys are coming to town. The guys you see on TV, the guys that are actually truly the kings of what they do. They're professionals, and you get a ride along with them. You know, or if you want to try, I guess, go out there and try to burn out or do drifting or whatever, you're going to have that event as well, right?
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do, right? So depending on, you know, with the drifting ride-alongs, you can do that on Friday at HMP. So we'll be on the circle track. We've got spectator drags. So if you want to do fun runs around the circle track, you can do that. We have what we call the pizza and beer class. I do want to just carefully say there's the beer, you get a 12-pack of beer and 2 pizzas after you win, not during.
Not during.
Or you can substitute for soda if that's more, if that's more your style. But I don't know why my phone is going off. Got rid of that. So there's all kinds of stuff you can do. If you want to do the spectator drags, we've got that. So there's just so many different experiences that you can have. And then if, like I said, you want to do a drifting ride along, you'll be able to do that right at Moody's, and you'll also be able to do that directly at HMP. So the ride alongs are, and then also we've got Mustang Unleashed. So, Ford's going to be there with their Mustang Unleashed program, which is awesome. And you're going to be able to get in the brand new, generation Mustangs. Ford's bringing 24 and 25 Mustangs. I think they're going to have a dark horse also. And so you can just roll right into a dark horse and you can go right into the drifting pit right with Ford.
Yeah, well, the guys that come out from Ford Performance,
Yep.
That's their passion. These guys are building the cars, they're bringing them out. I know we've got some people. Chris Josie will be out there with his Pro Street car. We've got if Thomas Sanchez gets his car fixed, he was up at Texas 2K25 last weekend or the weekend before and blew it up. But if he gets that engine repaired, he'll be there. You've got, I can't remember Patrick's last name, coming over from San Antonio, already signed
Patrick
up.
Doyle.
Patrick Doyle, that's right. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad.
He knows everybody. He's like the most connected man in Texas Mustangs. It's
he is a little bit connected. He is. But he's coming over to take part, I think, in open road course, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And then David Dillius, I think, will be there from Seabrook. He's got a couple of Mustangs. He'll be at the MSR event. He does open road course as well. So it's turning out to be one heck of an event.
Thanks. Yeah, we're really excited. I mean, I think it's one of those things where, we're getting a lot of calls from people that have never been road racing, right? And that's the interesting thing. So Mike Murillo, who's a 16-time world champion, Brett LaSala, who's got the fastest street Mustang in the world. These guys are going to be at the drag day, and they were asking me, hey, what can we expect? And, I think the thing is that a lot of people are going to be racing their Mustangs for the first time. Like, there's a lot of people that even have built Mustangs that have never been down a drag strip. And that, to me, that's what Mustang Week is all about, is just about the experience. Right. It's getting to do some things that you haven't gotten a chance to do before. And it's like, you might have a 700 horsepower Mustang and you've never been to the drag strip. And we're like, look, come out, enjoy the whole week. Maybe you get some instructions from Mike and Brett, right? On, your car, how to launch it. I mean, these are the things I think that, again, to me are really fun about Mustang Week, is it's not just, hardcore racing thing. It's like, it's about the whole community. You can find a little bit of everything. If you want to find a badass $200,000 show car, you find that. You want to watch an ice cream truck do a burnout against an EcoBoost powered Cessna burnout plane, you can do that too.
I've always insisted that these people that buy a Mustang, they didn't buy it just to sit in their living room and look at it in the driveway. In their head somewhere, even when they're going down the freeway, they're envisioning themselves as some sort of a race car driver or driving at some sort of speed. It's not just to sit there and then kick back and enjoy the radio with 100 people around you on the freeway. So you're delivering this to us. You're going to bring it to Texas, and it's basically, I think it starts April 23rd, if I'm not mistaken, ends on April 27th. But it's one event after another every day that week. And
you can find, like I said, you can find anything you want. But I think you're right. I memean, to me, I've been in love with the Mustang since I was 16. It's like, really passionate about. It's just as a 15, 16-year-old, I just fell in love with a car. And the thing I love about Mustang is it doesn't matter your age. Like, this is a community that transcends. Like, you could be 65, you could be 16. You could be a drag racer. You could be into road racing. You could love burnouts. You could love drifting. It's like, what other car is so involved in every single type of motorsport? Or you go to any car show and you'll find 30 or 40 Mustangs of all years. And so I just think, like, there's just this beauty to the fact that, like, this community is so broad and just loves this car so much. And I just think that that's what Mustang Week to me is all about, is you said it, the experiences that you get, right? Like, you're not just buying a car, you're like becoming a part of something that's way bigger than yourself and that welcomes you with open arms.
Yeah, you make friends at these events, and those friendships they end up lasting a lifetime. Mm-hmm. You said you've been in it since you were 16. I have too. And I know people around the globe because of this car. What I find interesting, you said it a second ago, it's the only car I know of that actually, it kind of permeates a family. Like, one person will get a Mustang, and then all of a sudden the whole family's got one, or almost everybody in the family. And it also spans generations. It has gone down through the generations, and people don't leave it. They don't move on to another brand.
When I met my wife, my wife had a 93 limited edition convertible twin turbo. And apparently her ex-boyfriend had worked on it or something and totally screwed this car up. And I was a big Mustang fan, but I wasn't a fan of this 93 limited edition. And so I convinced her to sell it. And I've been hearing about that for 17 years. And it doesn't matter what darn Mustang we'd have. It was always about the 93 limited edition. Mm-hmm. And finally, about a year ago, I just couldn't take it anymore. It was like, you know, everything I ever wanted to buy. And anybody that's married knows this. It's like, you know, boy, I'd like to get a new toaster oven. And she's like, well, you're not getting a new toaster oven until I get a 1993 limited edition Mustang. It's
well,
like,
you know, the 90s Mustangs, the early 90s Mustangs were great. You can't deny that.
It didn't matter what it was. It was like, I'm going to go get In-N-Out. Well, we're not going to get In-N-Out until you get me a 1993 limited edition Mustang.
So you had it real bad.
So finally I got her one for her birthday this year. And I'm telling you, I could do no wrong, right? It's like,
well, that's a nice story. I like that.
You know, if
it's yellow too. It's like your shirt.
Oh, well, hey, you know that at least everybody sees her going down the street now, right? There's no missing her. Yeah, so that you're talking about a Fox body, that particular year, and there were just people that loved that Fox body. But I'm going to tell you, if she'd have said something to me about, if that was my wife, and she'd said something to me about not going to In-N-Out, we'd have had an issue there. That would have been a major league blow up at that point. Mm-hmm. You know, we've got In-N-Out here in Texas now, and I make it a point to get there quite frequently.
Don't mess with Randy's food.
That's right. Yeah, never mess with my food.
Randy, you know, not everybody loves In-N-Out, but I think In-N-Out, it's the most American thing California has. So
it depends who's cooking the burger, though. I'll tell you that much.
No, I've never had a bad burger there.
Okay. Well, maybe we had an off day then.
You're right. It is a California. It's an American thing in California, but now they're going nationwide. Mm-hmm. And
they are. Yep.
I don't see many fast food chains that have people that have been with them 40 years. You know.
Yep. In-N-Out's an institution for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of like this car we're talking about. You know, people that you've had. You were 16 years old. Did you have your first one at 16?
So my first car when I was 16, I got a 1987 Buick Century station wagon.
Oh boy, you were sporting, weren't you?
You got it passed down to you?
V6.
Was it passed down?
Let me tell you, that thing was pretty fast. Like it was actually pretty spiffy. But no, I got it when I was 16. I bought my first Mustang. I'm like, it was then my world changed. I took over the garage shortly thereafter. I don't know how I convinced my parents to do this, but somehow I cleared my parents out of their 2-car garage, and it suddenly became my Mustang shop. And I'm like, I've got 3 kids, and I was like, I don't know how I did that, because like if my kids tried to like clear our stuff out of the garage, I'd be like, you know, that would never fly. But somehow with my parents, I convinced them that like I had to change the camshaft in my Mustang.
Oh, how funny.
I never left until I was 18. I was like,
that's awesome.
It became your shop, mm-hmm. Period, end of story.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Keep you out of trouble too, so that's good.
Well, James, we're going to have to slide on out here. We do appreciate you taking time to zoom in. Can't wait. This will actually air on Monday, mm-hmm. And then be able to be streamed at that point in time. But how do people get in touch with you?
MustangWeek.com.
So MustangWeek.com.
So it's all the good stuff you can find is directly on Mustang Week.
Mm-hmm. And then if they do go to PowerMedia.com, they can find a link for Mustang Week there as well.
The best place is just to go straight to Mustang Week. Power Auto Media, that's kind of our, company's homepage, because we also publish a bunch of other magazines, a lot of digital magazines in the performance space and video content and podcasts, and we do all that kind of stuff. But really, if you're a Mustang fan, it's either FordMuscle.com or it would be MustangWeek.com. That's where you want to click and get more information.
Okay, so that's the best place to go. Is there a phone number to call? The office number? I'm assuming you don't want your cell phone number out there.
We don't get phone calls very often, but if you go to Mustang Week, you can send us a customer service message if you have any questions, or our Facebook page is probably more common. Just go to Mustang Week's Facebook page. You can get our phone number from there, but I would say 99.9% go through either social or on our website.
And then what's the best email?
I would just go directly to the contact us on the website, You just go to mustangweek.com. We solve
He's
all
always
the
trying to
world's
get phone
problems,
numbers and
right?
emails out of people.
Look at this. He's ready to start sending me some spam messages.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And advertise it for spam for him.
Yes.
Because if you, the fastest thing to us is if you go on Mustang Week and send us a message like on our Facebook page, we respond back right away. We've got somebody that monitors that at all times.
That's the technology, Randy. See,
I get it. I get it.
Randy, it's 2025, buddy. We got
we're
you.
just talking about
You,
this.
you do. You got it. And we just have that one landing page to go to, that one website. We're good to go at that point. So, well, James, can't thank you enough for taking the time with us today.
It was nice to meet you.
And I really can't wait to get down there and take part in the event when you guys come to town.
Yeah, we'll be excited to have you guys. We'll get you in that ride along.
I'm in there. Just make sure you get that camera ready, because I'll look as stupid as I normally do right here on camera.
You're going to be one of those YouTube videos if you're not careful.
Hey, it wouldn't be the first one.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. You take care,
guys.
man.
You take
Bye.
care.
All right. Have a good one, buddy.
Okay, bye-bye.
Be
Bye-bye.
safe.
And that's it for this episode of Cruisin Car Club Talk. I'm Randy Weldon, Robert Helmer, and Dana Pritchard sitting here. Locked up back in the safe room / sound booth is our sound engineer and producer, Dick Schischler. We are broadcasting from the studios of Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 and 106.1 FM, and streaming worldwide at irlonestar.com, on Facebook and on YouTube. We do look forward to spending time with you on the next episode of Cruisin Car Club Talk. And Dana, I guess we're out of here.
Yep. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.